The Bible to Psalms of 24. And we're going to read verses 3 through 10 in unison. Psalm 24. Yes, sir. That's the scripture the young brother want to start out with today. We're going to pick it up at Psalms of 24. We're going to read verses 3 through 10 in unison. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath lifted up his soul, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and the righteousness of the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek his face. God. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom, brother.
All right. It's good to see y'all. We opened up with Psalms 24 because it goes right into the lesson, kind of sets the tone for what the lesson is about today. It talks about who shall ascend into the holy hill, the holy tabernacle. Then it mentioned everlasting doors, right? So that's talking about a kingdom, right? Everlasting gates, lift ye up, ye gates. You know what I'm saying? All that's referencing the kingdom of heaven. And that's what the title of the lesson is. It's Parables of the Kingdom of Heaven. And what we're going to be getting into, it's going to be a series, probably a 2 or 3 part series.
Less 3 parts.
2 or 3, depends.
You're going to make it 3 parts.
So yeah, the Parables of the Kingdom of Heaven. What we're gonna be going over today in this first part, we kind of gonna start from the beginning and lead up to the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? We gonna show what are parables, Old Testament and New Testament. What does the Old Testament have to say about parables? The Kingdom of Heaven. We're gonna look a little bit of that in the Old and New, and then we're gonna look at the Messiah parables about the Kingdom of Heaven. When you look at it through the Old Testament, the parables of the kingdom of heaven didn't just start with the Messiah. It actually started with Adam and Eve, right? And all the way down through every generation, the kingdom of heaven has been shown to people in different patterns and different parables. And then when the Messiah came, he kind of came and just brought it all together, brought it full circle. So before we get into it, we're going to look up some words. It's 17 times in the Old Testament you can find the word parable, 32 times in the New Testament, 10 times in the Apocrypha. All right, so we're gonna I got this definition pulled up of parable. Let me screen share real quick. For those who are watching online, Shalom. All right.
All right, we should be good. Sorry about that, family. We had to reboot the internet. If y'all can hear us, put a 7 in the room. Y'all can hear us, put a 7 in the room. If you live on Facebook or YouTube, put a 7. So we know that y'all can hear us. Mic check, mic check. All right.
Good. All right.
Give me one more 7. We had to reboot the volume too. All right. Appreciate it, Mike. Mike Parker. All right. We good to go.
All right.
Yes, sir. We should be solid now.
All right. So we just went over the Old Testament definition of parable, and it was H49:12. Now we in the New Testament. Instead of screen sharing it, I'm just gonna pull it up on the blue letter and read it from here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to cut down on as much glitching in this this weak Wi-Fi connection we got as much as possible. All right, and so the New Testament definition is G3850. G3850, and it says parabola. Parabola, that's the Greek word for it. And the outline of biblical usage is placing one thing by the side of another. And then it gives a word, juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. Now, juxta, that's a prefix meaning near something, near or by something. It says, as of ships in battle, metaphor. A comparing of one thing with another, likeness, similitude. Example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated. A narrative, fictitious but agreeable to the laws of usages of human life, by which either the duties of men or the things of God, particularly the nature and history of God's kingdom, and figuratively portrayed. A parable, this is one of the best definitions, one of the easiest definitions to understand. A parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. A pithy and instructive saying involving some likeness or comparison and having perceptive or admonitory force. A maxim, proverb, and act by which one expresses himself or his possessions to danger, a venture, or a risk. Strong's definitions would be a similitude, i.e. symbolic, fictitious narrative of common life, conveying a moral, apothegm or adage, comparison, figure, parable, or proverb, right? So let's get the word proverb. Let's look that up. Let's look that up real quick. I'm gonna pull this up, and the word proverb is the same word you get if you look up parable. You're gonna get the same word, H49:12. Mashal. We ain't gotta read all the definitions because we already read it, right? So let's go to Proverbs 1. Let's start this off in Proverbs 1. Let's start this off in the book of parables. Start this off in the book of parables. And just to go and read the definitions again, for those who had just came in, like I said, Proverbs and parables is the same Old Testament word. You look it up in the Hebrew, it's H49:12, mashal. You got proverb, a parable, a proverbial saying, a byword, similitude, parable, sentences of ethical wisdom or ethical maxims. So we finna get into what are the purpose, or what is the purpose of a parable or a proverb. And we in Proverbs chapter 1, we're gonna pick this up at verse 1. Read 1 through 9. Read 1 through 9.
The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to receive the words of understanding.
Okay, so the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, the king of Israel. What's the purpose? The purpose is to know wisdom, to be familiar with wisdom, which is applied knowledge. So to become familiar with how you're supposed to apply what you read, and instruction, go ahead.
To receive instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity.
Equality.
Yes, sir.
Now, equity. The scripts don't teach equality. You know what I'm saying? That says equity. right? Equality only works if everyone starts from the same place. You know what I'm saying? Like if the government was to grant a white neighborhood $3 billion to fix their neighborhoods up, and a black neighborhood $3 billion, where at the end of it all, the white neighborhood would still be better off, because look where they started before
Right.
the $3 billion, and look where we started before the $3 billion. So the Most High, he teaches equity instead of equality, right? So equity would be, well, before we award this white neighborhood the $3 billion, let's get these folks caught up first. Then we give both people $3 billion. That's equity. That's what the Most High teach. While a lot of people out there marching for what? Equality. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
To give subtlety to the simple.
Mm-hmm.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion.
Yeah.
A wise man will hear and will increase learning. And a man of understanding shall obtain unto wise counsel.
Yeah.
To understand the proverb and the interpretation of the words of the wise and their dark saying.
That's right. Go ahead.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
But fools despise wisdom and
You see that the beginning to know the Most High is to respect him. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fear, the deep reverence of the Most High, right? That's the beginning of knowledge. Go ahead.
you. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Yeah.
For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
All right, let's go to the next spot, Sirach 3. Let's go to Sirach, the 3rd chapter. Read one verse right here. Sirach 3, and we're going to read verse 29. Sirach 3 and verse 29.
The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
So the mind of everybody can't understand parables, right? Because in the Proverbs, the 1st chapter, he said Proverbs are also dark sentences.
Right.
That's something that just by looking at it on the surface can't be perceived, or can't be really easily understood just by a surface level glance. Right. So it says a prudent mind, a mind that's well ordered, a mind that has a delight for these type of things. Right. It says he will understand the parable. And read that last part again.
He will understand the parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
Right. And an attentive ear, or a circumcised ear, is a desire of a wise man. A wise man loves to listen just as much as he loves to talk. Right? So let's go to the next spot, Sirach 6. So a few chapters over. Sirach 6, and read verse 35. Sirach 6. Now pick it up at verse 32.
All right.
Yeah.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
Mm-hmm.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
You see, that's how you can become prudent, not just sitting there being taught. You know what I'm saying? You hear people say it all the time, well, I read the Bible and it just didn't do nothing for me. Well, all you did was read it. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to get up and start doing.
That's right.
Because all that reading, all this studying, you just going to get tired. That's the only thing you're going to do. You're going to be a big encyclopedia. You're going to know all the precepts. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But it ain't no application to it. Go ahead.
33.
Yeah.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
That's right.
And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
Yeah.
Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto them that is wise.
You see that? Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. I don't hang around nobody my age, really. Everybody I hang around is pretty much older than me. Everybody I hang around older than me, right? And then it says, and cleave unto him that is wise. Go ahead.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Right.
And let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
That's right. So back in the day when you was able to decipher parables and dark sentences, you was considered wise.
That's right.
It's like today how we will race each other, or you know what I'm saying, I bet you I can beat you in Madden type stuff to see who's the most superior. Back then, that's how we did with, can you figure out this parable I'm finna put forth?
That's right.
That's how we did. Read that verse over again. I like that.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse,
Yeah.
and let not the parable of understanding escape thee.
So when you read parables, Proverbs is a book of parables. You know what I'm saying? Remember them things, because you know, we read in that first chapter as a young man, it teaches the young man understanding. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty things in the Proverbs touch on everything. How to choose a woman, how to choose a man, what to look for in a woman, how to handle your business, how not to be slothful, how to act, you know what I'm saying, when you in the presence of great men, how to act when you in the presence of poor men, all time, how to conduct yourself doing business dealings, eating, all that. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get up before every day start and read you a few proverbs and just meditate on it all day long. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 36.
Yeah.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
That's right.
And let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
That's right. And so when my brothers and sisters calling me wearing my phone now, don't ever think I'm probably getting on his nerves. Let me cut. No. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the position the Most High put me in. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to have myself readily available for the flock at all times.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if I was to look at them like, dang, they calling me again? Well, the script say, get thee B time. They just doing what the script say. So I would be getting mad at y'all for doing what the scripture say. You know, and I would be wrong. Go ahead.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of your house.
That's right.
And meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Whenever you ask for it. You see that if you do those steps, whenever you ask for it, Most High, I need wisdom and understanding on this. He'll send it to you. He'll send it to you. So let's go to the next spot. Sirach 39.
Yeah, I'm gonna post something. You know, we just
Go ahead, bro.
about, you know, people getting that you beat time and everything.
Yeah.
We gotta have, you know, we gotta keep in mind just like Moses, you know, because sometimes you can get over one person, get overwhelmed with a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and you know, I know some people like to call certain people, certain brothers to get an answer, whatever. But we gotta keep in mind they got family and stuff too. I didn't want to throw that in there because that's what Moses had a problem with.
Yeah.
When he had his, you know.
Yeah. And his father-in-law had to tell him, man, you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you need brothers like, you know what I'm saying, like that to help you out. You know, in Ecclesiastes, say two better than one.
Yeah.
Two better than one. Good point, Hebrew. So let's go to Sirach 39 this time. Sirach 39, and then let's do 1 through 3. Sirach 39, 1 through 3.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecy.
You see that? That's the man that's mind that's meditating
That's right.
on the law of the Most High. That's where most of his time is going to.
That's right.
Trying to figure out, decipher the words of this book right here. Not you know what I'm saying, spend 5 hours playing Madden, 2 hours reading scriptures, 5 more hours playing Madden.
Right.
Then you like, I'll pray real quick. 5 more hours play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Nah. Go ahead.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
You see that? What subtle parables are, that's where he gonna be at. Man, what you doing? Man, these scripts.
That's it, bro.
What you read, man? The Proverbs. I love the book of Proverbs. Go ahead.
He will seek out the secrets of graven sentences.
That's right.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Uh-huh.
He shall serve among great men and appear before princes.
Yeah.
He will travel through strange countries, for he has tried the good and the evil among men.
All right, that's it on that. Let's drop that. Let's go to Ezekiel 18. We just looking at parables in the Old Testament, because a lot of people tend to believe that, you know, the parables started with the Messiah, but that's always been a teaching tool of Israelites, was parables. And you read the prophets. A lot of times he used the prophets like to be a parable for the people, and so on and so forth. So one of the definitions that we read for parables was a proverbial saying. And that's what we about to read right here in this Ezekiel 2. You know what I'm saying? Like today we would call those idioms. right? This is just figure of speech. Like we got stuff like they worked me like a Hebrew slave.
Right.
Or what's another one? Better safe than sorry. That's one. You know what I'm saying? That phrase, it teaches you a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I better take precaution or later on I'm gonna be sorry that I didn't do it.
That's right.
You know, so on and so forth. So here's one that we used to say back in the day, our rebellious forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they didn't understand how the Most High worked. So we come up with old sayings.
Right.
Like it's one old folks say, you know, when it's raining outside, the angels of God crying or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So here's one right here. It's a parable or a proverb or a proverbial saying. Verse 2, just one verse. Read 1 and 2.
All right.
Yeah.
The word of Yahweh came unto me saying, unto me again saying,
Uh-huh.
what mean ye that he used this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying,
Yeah.
the fathers have eaten sour grapes,
Mm.
and the children's teeth are set on
You
them.
see what our people were saying? They were like, nah, our forefathers been into that sour grape, but we catching all the sour.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they not realizing, look, he visit, like we went over a few weeks ago, he visit the generations
That's right.
of the iniquities of them that hate him.
That's right.
So if you doing the same sins of your forefathers, you're
There
gonna
you
be
go.
punished in the same way as your forefathers. So the people was looking at it like, you know what I'm saying, we getting punished for what they did. No, you getting punished for what you did, like they did.
Doing the same thing they did.
Exactly. So that would be an example of a parable or a proverb that's a proverbial saying.
Mhm.
Right? So let's go look at another famous parable in the Old Testament, 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel. Parables, they announce spiritual truths. They announce judgments as well. Sometimes both.
2 Samuel.
2 Samuel 12. We're gonna pick it up at verse 1. 2 Samuel 12, verse 1. We are this after David did what he did. Slept with a man's wife, had him killed on the front lines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the Most High had to come holler at David about that.
Right.
And you got people today, when we try to get correction, well, you can't judge me. Well, why is the Most High sending men to go tell other men about their sin?
Thank you.
Who are you to tell me? Well,
Thank
I'm
you.
pretty sure Nathan has some shortcomings too, but
Right.
here the Most High
That's
sending
right.
him to the king
Thank you.
to tell him about his shortcomings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, at the time, Nathan wasn't playing footsie with sin.
Mm-mm.
That's the only way you can tell somebody else about theirs in good conscience if you know you ain't around here
There you
playing
go.
around with it. No matter how they might take it, and who that nigga think he is? Your brother.
Yep. A servant of the Most High.
You wouldn't even ask that question had I not said nothing to you. You see how messed up our people is? Our people is?
Exactly.
Had I not said nothing to you, we'd still be cool. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Had I let you wallow in your sin, we'd still be cool.
That's it, bro.
We still be cool with a lot of brothers, won't we?
Yeah.
Have we let them wallow in their sin?
That's right. True love is correction.
Mhm.
Everybody want to fake.
That's right. That's why the true going recognize because simple mind can't detect it. That's right. That's that beloved Daoud
Yes,
right
sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. 2 Samuel 12. Let's do 1 through 10.
All right. And Yahweh said, sent Nathan unto David.
Uh-huh.
And he came unto him and said unto him, there were 2 men in one city,
Oh, Lord.
one rich and the other poor.
Uh.
The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds.
All right. So he's putting forth a parable to David about his judgment.
That's right.
Now, David, he not expecting, he think this just, he's a prophet. He coming to just, chop it up with him.
Right. Right.
So the rich man will be David. The
Right.
poor man will be Uriah.
That's right.
And the one Ulam will be Bathsheba.
That's right.
Let's get it.
But the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had brought and nourished up. And he grew up together with him. And with his children, it did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup.
That's right.
And lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter.
Uh-huh.
And there came a traveler.
Now, keep in mind, the rich man had many herds,
Mhm.
many flocks.
That's right.
That represent all the wives David had.
That's right.
Right? And this poor man had one little ewe
Come on,
lamb
bro.
that he bought up. You know what I'm saying? But that was his ewe lamb.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead.
And there came a traveler unto the rich man,
Uh-huh.
and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him. But took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him.
Now, he had all them flocks,
Yeah.
right, that he could have took from.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But instead of doing that, he took the poor man's, his only
Right.
ewe lamb, the one that he bought up with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man.
Mm.
And he said unto Nathan, as Yahweh liveth, the man that has done this thing shall surely die.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He put it on his own self.
Keep reading that now. Now, this is the important part. This is verse 6.
Mhm.
Watch this.
He shall restore the lamb fourfold.
How fold?
Fourfold.
Fourfold. Go ahead.
Because he did this thing and because he had no pity.
Now David just finished the parable all for itself.
Flopping them jaws.
He said, how many times?
Fourfold.
Read
Brother.
that verse one more time.
And he shall restore the lamb fourfold.
Okay, fourfold.
Because he did this thing and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man.
Ooh.
Thus said Yahweh, the power of Israel. I anointed thee king over Israel.
Now you see how this parable brought forth a specific judgment. And David actually spoke it out of his mouth. He said fourfold. So when you read, David lost 4 sons.
So did, bro.
He lost that baby.
Yep.
He lost Amnon, Adonijah. Who was the other one? Absalom.
Absalom, the one tried to kill him.
Absalom. So we see parables can announce a judgment too.
Right.
And now all this is in the Old Testament before we get to Messiah. So let's go look at another Old Testament. Go ahead.
And deliver thee out of the hand of Saul.
And a lot of children trying to hide behind David.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So live. Let's go look at another Old Testament parable, Jeremiah 24.
We had to be careful at the time we pronounce judgment on ourselves, brothers and sisters.
David said fourfold. Boom, he lost 4 sons.
And we also have to keep in mind, as Israelites, we have the spirit and the gift of prophecy.
Right.
But a lot of times we prophesy against our own self.
Yeah.
By the word we let come out of our mouth. We have to be careful. As Israelites, you have the gift of prophecy.
Yeah. And I don't think we really recognize the power that the Most High gave us with our tongue. And just the power that comes with our original language, the Hebrew language.
Come on, bro.
Like, man, we have the straight authority in our language to pronounce doom on people and to pronounce prosperity on people, blessing and cursing. You know what I'm saying? We straight got the power to do that in good faith.
The language of creation.
Yeah.
So you can create good or evil. That's Hebrew,
right.
Hebrew is the language of creation.
Right. He said, what he say, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
That's right.
He gave us the same power he got to a certain extent. He spoke and creation happened.
That's it, bro.
We ain't ready for that, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look. Now,
good day 1 second, it'll be bad day the next second.
Yeah. Now, look, we can speak and create good feelings for people.
Yep. Right.
Good thoughts. You see what I'm saying? So we just gotta really recognize the power that we've been given.
That's right.
All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 24. Let's read this parable. Let's read this parable 1 through 10. Jeremiah 24, 1 through 10.
Yahweh showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs were set before the temple of Yahweh. After that, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Yehuda, and the princes of Yehuda, with the carpenters and smith from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babylon.
All right, so Jeremiah, there's a physical thing here first that Jeremiah sees happening. First, he sees 2 actual baskets of figs. He said before the temple. right? Go ahead. Then he see Nebuchadnezzar carry everybody away. Go ahead.
One basket had very good figs,
Mm,
even like the figs that are first ripe.
yeah.
And the other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten. They were so bad.
Mm,
Keep
going.
Then said Yahweh unto me, what seest thou, Jeremiah? And I said, figs, the good figs, very good,
Yeah,
and the evil, very evil, that cannot be eaten. They are so evil.
that's right.
Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, thus said Yahweh, the power of Israel, like these good figs, so will I acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Judah,
Yeah.
whom I've sent out of this place into the land of the Chaldeans for their good.
You see that? So even when judgment is passed down
Come on,
on
bro.
the nation, sometimes everybody is punished. But the Most High knows who just caught up in judgment and the ones who brought the judgment down.
Come on now.
You see what I'm saying? So he said the ones who just caught up in it, them the ones I'm gonna set my eyes over for good in their captivity.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You here in a foreign land, you
Come on,
able
brother.
to start your own business with no
Come on, brother.
no police or government or nothing messing with you, able to build, plan houses, have kids, all that.
Why is that though, brother?
Because you keeping the commandments.
There you go.
Because you're keeping the commandments, but there's also bad figs in captivity with you too.
Come on now.
And you see they catching hell.
These the same one holler, no justice, no peace.
No, they're the same ones still out there, bro. They're the same ones. They're the same ones. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Well, I will set my eyes upon them for good,
Mm.
and I will bring them again to this land,
Yeah.
and I will build them and not pull them down. I will plant them and not pluck them up, and I will give them an heart to know me, that I am Yahweh, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. For they shall return unto me with their whole heart.
Yeah.
And the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, they are the king. They are so evil. Surely, saith Yahweh, I will give Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and his princes, and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in his land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt.
For their hurt. So the bad figs, they not learning the lesson from being in captivity.
That's right.
They just getting punished, catching all the smoke from the Most High, and they not benefiting nothing from it. The good figs, they in the captivity. You know what I'm saying? You've been through around for a few years, then all of a sudden you come to the conclusion like, hold on, why did this happen?
There you go.
Then you start cracking the scripts open. That's the ones that he gonna acknowledge in captivity.
That's
so
right.
They're good. All right, go ahead.
To be a reproach,
Yeah.
and a proverb, and a taunt, and a curse in all places whither I shall drive them.
Yeah.
And I will send the sword, the famine, the
Mm.
pestilence among them, till they be consumed from all the land that I gave unto them and to their father.
That was it on that.
That's it, brother.
Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to the New Testament, 1 Corinthians 15. Now we're finna start getting into the kingdom of heaven throughout the different generations. We're finna start with Adam, but let's get something established first.
Is it 1 Corinthians?
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15. First Corinthians 15, and we're gonna pick this up at verse 12. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 12. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 12. When you get it, go ahead.
Now, if Christ or Hamashiach be preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead?
All right, so I put this part in here because the resurrection and the kingdom kind of go hand in hand with each other. So back then, people was preaching in Paul's time that there is no resurrection, right? So go ahead, let's see what Paul had to say about it.
But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then Hamashiach is not risen. Then is Hamashiach not risen?
Man, look, if there was no resurrection of the dead, y'all would never see me again.
Nope.
Never, ever, ever.
Nope.
Like I would just go do what I want to do at that point, because after I die, that's it. I'm just dead. You know what I'm saying? No reward at the end, no punishment at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm finna wow out.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And if Hamashiach be
Yeah.
not risen, then our preaching vain. Then is our preaching vain,
Yeah,
and your faith is also vain.
that's what I'm saying. So if I ain't gonna be up here teaching, what y'all still coming to class for if it
Right.
ain't no resurrection? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yea, and we are found false
That's
witnesses
right.
of Yah,
Mhm.
because we have testified of Yah that he raised up Hamashiach, whom he raised up, if so be that the dead rise not.
Yeah.
For the dead rise not, then Christ, it then is not Christ raised.
Right.
And if Hamashiach be not raised, your faith is vain. Ye are yet in your
See
sin.
that? You still got that death sentence on you.
That's right.
The wrath of the Father is still not appeased yet.
That's it.
He still want to smoke us out if that's the case. If there's no resurrection.
Right.
Go ahead.
Then they also which are fallen asleep in Christ are perished.
They just dead. No reward coming. Abraham, all them just all what they did, that was for nothing. Just scrap the Old Testament, scrap everything. Really.
Yep, that's
If there's no resurrection. Right, this whole Bible thing, Israelite thing is a sham if there's no resurrection.
That's it. Matter of fact, all religions are ashamed.
Are
You want to look
ashamed.
at it like that.
Right, right.
We just might well just go on out there and
And just be immoral as we want to
man,
be.
we can go out there and wreck people's cars, sleep with 1,000 women, rob the banks, all that.
You hear me? Shoot people for
So
no
when you
reason.
kill me, guess what? I'm just gonna go to sleep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Verse 18. Then they also which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished.
So like I said, that's the case, man. Abraham was lied to, man. Ain't
That's
no
it.
kingdom coming. None of that. Go ahead.
If in this life only we have hope in Hamashiach, we are all men most miserable.
Yeah.
But now is Christ risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man also came the resurrection of the dead.
See that? So anybody who tell you there's no resurrection, because you got Israelites that don't believe in the
Sure do.
resurrection, they believe in reincarnation.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they would tell you that. So you say and they'll tell you, well, how can one man bring in resurrection where one man brought in sin and death in the world?
They believe that part.
You believe that part. Just like they don't believe Messiah could be born of a virgin, where Adam came out of the earth.
Right.
Eve came from a rib.
They believe that part.
You believe that part. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
As in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive.
That's right.
But every man after his own order.
That's right. Every man after his own order. That's when you get your reward.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Christ the first fruit.
Uh-huh.
Afterward, they that are Hamashiach at his coming.
So every man's own order is at Hamashiach's coming. So you don't die and then get your reward or your punishment. You don't die and go to heaven then. After
somebody lying then, ain't
No. It's at his coming.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
Then cometh the end.
Right.
When he shall have delivered up the kingdom unto the Father. Even the Father. When he shall have put down all rule.
That's right.
And all authority and power.
All right. So you got the 1,000-year millennial reign, which leads right into that 8th day, like Brother Warder just said. You know what I'm saying? That's starting something totally different.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You got the 1,000-year millennial reign, then you got the kingdom of heaven, what the Messiah talked about that come down from the heaven that we see in Revelation 21. That's what we're going to be getting into today, right? We're going to touch a little bit on the 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
For he must reign till he have put all enemies,
That's right,
under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. For he has put all things under his feet. But when he said all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did not put all things under him. I mean, which did put all things under him.
Yeah.
And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him. That Yah, Almighty, the Father, may be all in all.
So after the 1,000-year reign, Satan is loose for a season. You know what I'm saying? Then he shut him down, shut Gog and Magog down.
That's right.
The great white throne judge.
That's right.
People getting in, people throwing in the lake.
That's
then
right.
New Jerusalem come down.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. That's why we went here. Now let's skip down to verse 45. Read 45 through 50.
All right.
45 through 50.
And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
That's right.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
That's right.
Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual.
Uh-huh.
The first man is of the earth, earthy.
The first man, which was who? Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody take you to Genesis 1, don't tell you Genesis 1 and 2 and tell you there's two different creations.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do that. But right here in 1 Corinthians, it say the first man, Adam. They tell you Adam don't come around to the second chapter. Yeah. Well, and they say that the first man is like a Neanderthal or something. Yeah. Madness like
that. Prove it.
But right here in 1 Corinthians, say the first man.
Come on, bro.
Adam. That kills that doctrine. Go ahead.
The second man is the master from heaven.
That's right. Go ahead.
As the earthly, such are they that are earthly. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly.
Right. And
as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly.
That's right.
Now this I say, brother, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yah. Neither does corruption inherit incorruption.
All right, so I went here just to show, like, we finna get into Adam and Eve. And they was in paradise, basically. You know what I'm saying? That was a semblance of the kingdom that they was in. And when we finna read, like we just mentioned earlier, they was not made of corruptible seed.
That's right.
So it was showing us all the way at the beginning that flesh and blood not gonna be in this place called paradise. You know what I'm saying? Both Adam and Eve. And then on top of that, they was told to reproduce more righteous, uncorruptible seed. You know what I'm saying? So had we been there right after that had been given, or you know what I'm saying, looking at that and not read 1 Corinthians yet, we probably wouldn't have picked up on that, but that was something the Most High was trying to show us at the beginning. Right. So let's go read it, Genesis 2. All praise. All right, Genesis 2, 7 through 9 that we're going to skip. Genesis 2, 7 through 9.
All right.
And we're going to skip.
And Yahweh formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Right. And man became a living soul. And Yahweh planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahweh to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The name, that's all you want?
Yeah, skip. Okay. You can skip down to 15 to 25, but when you get a chance, read the verses he was about to read, like 10 through 15.
Yes, sir.
Because people say, man, that's a white man book, but it literally starts off in Africa.
That's right.
Literally, like, to just flip the book a couple of pages when you first open it, and you can clearly see that this is not a white man's book. Why is it starting off describing land mass and stuff in Africa?
Those rivers all come out of Africa.
Yeah, that's crazy. So skip down to 15. 15, read 15 through 25.
And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
Right. And
Yahweh commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
All right, so we got the tree of life in the garden, and we got the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So at this point, there's no death on the table, none of that. Everything was set up for man to choose life. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he said, all right, here go the garden. Don't eat from the tree of life unless I tell you to. Now he said, look, whenever you get ready to go eat from that tree, go eat from it. So everything was there for us to choose life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He did everything except for pointing
And put it
eat
in
for
the
this, from this only. That's the only. What else was we looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
18. And Yahweh said, it is not good that
Right.
man should be alone.
Uh-huh.
I will make him a help, meet, or
Right.
suitable for him.
All right. So we read earlier how he took Adam out the ground. Right. Man and woman didn't come together to make Adam. Right. He came and there wasn't no man to till the ground either.
Right.
So you got the Messiah with the virgin birth from a woman virgin, and then you got Adam coming out of the virgin earth.
Come on.
No
now.
man had put his tool in the earth yet. Go ahead. All praises. Go ahead.
And out of the ground, Yahweh formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air.
Yeah.
And brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
Yeah.
And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet suitable for him.
Right.
And Yahweh caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he woe man, or womb man,
Yeah.
and brought her unto the man.
All right. So now we seeing the woman being created without man and woman coming together. Right. And both of them are in paradise with the tree of life. So that's telling us that flesh and blood cannot inherit paradise or the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, whichever one you want to call it. All right, go ahead.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh.
Right.
She shall be called woe man because she was taken out of man.
And Adam used flesh of my flesh, right? So we read in 1 Corinthians 15, it's different types of flesh.
That's right.
So if this one corruptible flesh, what type of flesh was it?
That's right, brother.
See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Yeah.
And they both were naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
All right, and they were not ashamed. Let's go to Revelation 2. Go to Revelation 2. 1 through 7. 1 through 7. Revelation 2, 1 through 7. Yeah.
Okay. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, these things said he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst bear them which are evil, and hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and has found them liars, and has borne and has patience for my name's sake, has labored and has not fainted.
That's right.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. Excuse me, because thou hast left thy first love.
You see that? So the Most High writing these messages to these churches, which the church collectively together is his bride. So he's talking to his bride, telling his bride what she's doing right. Then he tell her what she's doing wrong. Right? So go ahead.
Verse 5. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works.
That's right.
Or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. But if thou hast, that thou hast the deed of the Nicolaitans, which also I hate.
See that the Most High love. He love when you hate what he hate. He love that. A lot of people say you can't hate that. Well, how come I can't? How come I can't hate a man wanting to be a woman?
Right.
When he don't have no fallopian tubes, no uterus. Bro. He just changed a few things cosmetically and in his head believes he a woman. But I'm not supposed to Say nothing about
Nah,
that. Same thing with a woman that want to be a man.
confusion.
You don't have testicles.
Right.
You will never see the world from a perspective that a true man will see it from.
That's right.
Just like a man can never truly see the world from a perspective that a true woman sees.
That's right, brother.
But all because you feel this way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
That is very crazy. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
He that had the ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the church.
Mm.
To him that overcometh, will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Yah.
All right, so I got this word paradise pulled up. It's G3857, right? And it's just to confirm that Adam and Eve was in paradise in the beginning. Because even though you don't see that word paradise in Genesis, that's why we go precept upon precept.
Right.
Outline the biblical usage. All right. It says, among the Persians, a grand enclosure or preserved hunting ground, park, shady, and well watered, in which animals were kept for the hunt. It was enclosed by walls and furnished with towers for the hunters. Let me make sure I got the right word. Okay, yeah, I got the right word. A garden, a pleasure ground, a grove or a park. The part of Hades, which was thought by the later Jews to be the abode of the souls of the pious until the resurrection. But some understand this to be a heavenly paradise. The upper regions of the heavens, according to the early church fathers, the paradise in which our first parents dwelt before the fall still exists, neither on the earth or in the heavens, but above and beyond the world. Heaven, the Strong's definitions, it says in Eden, a place of future happiness, paradise. So they were in a place of future happiness with the tree of life there, right?
Okay.
All right, so now let's go to Second Esdras. Second Esdras in the Apocrypha. And what one of them definitions was actually explaining was Abraham's bosom, which one of the parables we're going to get into probably in part 2 touches on there, and we'll come back to this definition when we get to that. Second Ezra chapter 3. Let's do 1 through 7 on this one as well. Second Ezra chapter 3, 1 through 7.
In the 13th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babylon, and I lay troubled upon my bed, and my thoughts came up over my heart.
Right.
And I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that dwelt in Babylon. And my spirit was sore moved. So I began to speak the words full of fear to the Most High and say, O Yahweh, who bears rule, thou spakest at the beginning when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone and commandest the people. I gave a body unto Adam without soul.
Without what?
Without soul.
Okay, go ahead.
Which was the workmanship of thine hand, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee.
Go ahead.
Thou leddest him into paradise.
You see that verse 5 important, because without the breath, without the spirit and the soul, you're just a dead shell, a lifeless shell. Right, go ahead.
Thou leddest him into paradise.
Into what?
Paradise.
Go ahead.
Which thy right hand had planted. I wonder who the right hand is.
That's right. We already know.
That's right.
Mashiach.
That's right. Before ever the earth came forward, and unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointest death in him, and his generation, of whom came the nations, tribes, people, kindreds out of the earth. Out of number.
All right. So that was it on that. That was verse 7.
Yep, that was it.
All right. Okay. So we just went there to show the precept. He led them into paradise, and it was planted right before the world was. So now that we looked at Adam and Eve, the kingdom, so to speak, in their generation, let's go to Moses' generation. Let's skip down. Let's go to Exodus 25. Let's go to Moses' generation. Exodus 25, 1 through 9. Exodus 25, 1 through 9.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart. Ye shall take my offering.
All right, so these are offerings for the tabernacle. And the Most High saying, tell everybody who's willing to make an effort, you know what I'm saying, so that I can come dwell amongst them. Look
Right.
at what he's asking now. You know what I'm saying? That's what the tabernacle was for, so
That's
that his
right, bro.
presence can come dwell with his people. And when the kingdom comes, he's going to be dwelling in the midst of his people.
That's
so
right, bro.
who wants to come do this thing willingly? You know what I'm saying? This is the parabolic talk. If you really know what you read, you know what I'm saying? He basically telling them, hey, get yourself ready for the kingdom. You got to have a desire to do this.
That's right.
If you want me to live amongst you, show me your desire. Go ahead.
And this, excuse me, and this is the offering which ye shall take of them.
Yeah.
Gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and
Precious
scarlet.
things. See, precious things. Things that ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? Gold, yeah, man, look, that's expensive. Purple back then, that's expensive.
Royal gold.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you. If you want me to live amongst you, or you want to be in this tabernacle, it's gonna cost you. And you got to give up everything that you consider precious willingly.
Come on now.
Wow. Go ahead.
And fine linen.
Fine linen. Yeah, all that Gucci and Prada in your closet.
Drop it off.
You know what I'm saying? Give all that up. Go ahead.
And ram skins dyed red and badger skins and shittim wood.
Not my ram skins. Go ahead.
Oil for the light.
Yeah.
Spices for anointing oil.
That's right.
And for sweet incense.
Onyx
stones and stones to be set in the ephod.
Oh, now we getting into them stones. You know, them women were like, hold on, what? He want us to do what? My pearls?
Dive is off.
But hey, he said, man, willingly. So this wasn't nothing that Moses had to come on, y'all. There wasn't nothing Aaron had to be like, y'all, come on now. Now last week we had rubies and everything in here. Now we just got little pebbles. I don't even know if they real.
Hey, chips.
You know what I'm saying? You had to do this thing for real. Like you had to have a desire to do this.
Right, bro.
Man, you had to wake up like, man, I'm ready to build the tabernacle some more. What part we on today? The tent part?
Right.
That's how you had to be. And the spirit was right there with them. Because this was a pattern of heavenly things. So you just couldn't go down there and just start laying down wood. That's what the spirit was there for. Now, big bro, you know, you can't put that down there like that.
That's right, bro.
That ain't gonna go down there like that. So they had everything they needed, just
That's
like
right.
we do.
That's right.
Just a willing heart. Go ahead. That's all you need. Go ahead.
And in the breastplate.
Yeah.
And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. According to all that I show thee after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it.
That, so if the Most High gonna come live in it, it can't be no any kind.
That's right. You gotta be ready.
All right. So let's go to Hebrews 8. Hebrews 8. He told him to make it. He showed him a specific pattern to make this after. That should have been the first. That should have been the first hint right there. Why he showing me a specific pattern, and why do he got a pattern?
That's
like
right.
what do this? What did the pattern come from? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have asked. Like, where did this pattern come from? Like what was the blueprint for this? All right, let's do Hebrews 8, 1 through 6. Hebrews 8, 1 through 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the thing which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest who is set at the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary, and of the true tabernacle.
What kind of
The
tabernacle?
true tabernacle.
Oh, okay. So now we got two tabernacles: the one that Moses was commanded to make, and the one Paul referencing right here, the true
Right.
tabernacle. Go ahead.
Which Yahweh pitched, and not man.
So man didn't pitch this tabernacle, right? This tabernacle is in the heavens, and when you go to Revelation and throughout the book of Revelation, you see different aspects of the temple in the heavens that John saw. He saw an ark of the covenant up there, the incense, the altar, so on and so forth. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. For every high priest is adorned to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer.
Yeah.
For if we were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law,
That's right.
who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things.
What kind of things?
Heavenly things.
Heavenly things. Go ahead.
As Moses was admonished of Yah when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, said he, that thou makest all things according to the pattern shown to thee in the mount.
So now we see why he was, you know what I'm saying, told to be careful to make it just like how you see it.
That's right, brother.
Right? Because this was a representation or a parable of what was in the heavens and what is to come down to this earth. All right, so you couldn't just be doing no anything, because the kingdom ain't gonna look like no anything. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't bring no knockoff jewelry and say, here, put this in the breastplate, bro.
No.
I think this
They're not.
and got earned neck turning green and you know all this. No, you couldn't bring that up in there like that.
We got Cain in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cain bringing that rotten fruit up in there. That super low fruit, I call it. All right, we finna, but now super low be having some good fruit. We finna go to this pseudo real quick. We just looked at Adam and Eve, the you know what I'm saying, the kingdom, and then we looked at we moving from Moses. Now we finna move on into Solomon. Then we're gonna get into Messiah. But first, let's go to the life of Adam and Eve. In the this is the pseudepigrapha volume 2.
I didn't bring mine.
It's all right.
You want to use yours?
Pseudepigrapha volume 2. And a lot of time when I be putting lessons together, I have all my books out, and which I need to stop doing, because when it comes to reading, my attention span be so short. Like I start putting the lesson together and I start reading the chapter, and I'd be like, let me go read about this in another book. Then next thing you know,
You all
an hour done been passed and I'm reading something else when I should have been putting the lesson together. So I kind of stumbled across this, you know what I'm saying, while I was sidetracked, but luckily it went along with what I was already trying to put together.
Yeah,
So all praise.
That's what they're going out. Yeah, boy, I get to opening these books and get sidetracked, man. So we gonna get the life of Adam and Eve, chapters 49 through 51. They real short chapters.
49 through 51. I got one right.
Don't get confused. Like
I got
when
it
you
right
finish over here, that's another version. So flip over and then
I got you.
yeah.
So you want to read this side?
Read
49
that
and
side.
51.
Yeah,
Okay.
49 and 51. And the title, it says Eve's instructions about the tablets and her death, right? Because Eve's death is not mentioned in the 66. But here it is. So the life of Adam and Eve, chapters 49 through 51. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Page
292. 292.
Yep. Indeed, 6 days after Adam died, Eve, aware that she would die, gathered all her sons and daughters. Seth with 30 brothers and 30 sisters. Boy, she popping them out one.
Yes, sir.
Eve said to them all, listen to me, my children, and I will tell you that I and your father transgressed the commandment of Yah. And the archangel Michael said to us, Because of your collusion.
Because of your what?
Collusion.
Mm.
Man, that's a hard word. That's an indictful word.
Yeah, you hear that? And you been in
Willful
court for
sin.
something.
Y'all got together and playing this thing out.
Yeah.
You in collusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your collusion, our power will bring over your race the wrath of his judgment. First by water, then by fire.
So
Man.
Eve knew the last judgment.
Yes, sir. Yes,
She
sir.
knew the first and the last.
Yes, sir.
Now watch what she about to tell her children to do. Go ahead.
By these two, Yahweh would judge the whole human race. But listen to me, my children. Make now tablets of stone and other tablets of clay, and write in them all my life and your fathers, which you have heard and seen from us. If you should judge our race by water, if he should judge our race by water, the tablets of earth will dissolve and the tablets of stone will remain.
So that's why she told him to do both. She was like, because she really didn't know when the judgment was coming. She didn't know that the fire judgment was way down the line.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So she like, look, right, clay and stone. Go ahead.
But if he should judge our race by fire, the tablets of stone will break, and those tablets of clay will be thoroughly baked.
All right, flip over to the next page.
All right. When Eve had said all this to her children, she stretched out her hands to heaven, praying, and bent her knees to the ground and worshiped Yahweh, giving thanks, and gave up the spirit. After this, all her children buried her with great weeping. Then, when they had mourned for 4 days, the archangel Michael appeared to them and said, Seth, man of Yah, do not prolong mourning your dead more than 6 days.
You see that? Because after that, man, you could go fall into some deep depression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of our people, after that 6th day, they was done. And you gotta kind of, after that 6th day, you gotta
shake up out of it.
You gotta shake up out of it. Go ahead, because you definitely don't want to be try your best not to grieve on the Shabbat.
Right.
Because this day represents future happiness for us. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. He finna let you know that. Go ahead.
Because the 7th day is a sign of the resurrection.
Of the what?
Of the resurrection. And the rest of the coming age. And on the 7th day, Yahweh rested from all his work. Then Seth made the tablets.
All right. That is the interesting part. Keep reading.
Then Seth made the tablets of stone and clay, and wrote in them the life of his father Adam and his mother Eve. What he had heard from them, and his eyes had seen. And he put the tablets in the middle of the house of his father in the oratory, where he used to pray to the Yahweh. And after the flood, those tablets were seen by many persons, but read by one.
So, but read by no one.
No one.
Because no one could read them. Not even Moses. Moses was taught about it through revelation up in the mountain. So he didn't find out about everything from these tablets, but Solomon did. We finna read it. Go ahead.
The wise Solomon, however, saw the writings and was entreating Yahweh, and the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him, saying, I am he who held the hand of Seth. So he wrote with his finger onto the stone, and you shall be wise in writing, so that you might know and understand all that is contained on the stones, and where the place of prayer was, where Adam and Eve used to worship Yahweh our power.
Man, this kind of blew my mind when I read
it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, we finna see the place where Adam and Eve used to worship was the same place was Jerusalem.
That's right.
Was where he told Solomon to put the temple in.
Yep.
Wow. Go ahead.
And it is fitting for you to build the temple of your house.
Yeah.
The house of prayer at that place. Then Solomon completed the temple of Yahweh our power and called forth those Achillean documents. To say written without the knowledge of the words by the finger of Seth, his hand being held by the angel of Yahweh.
And down here in the footnotes, it says not made with hands.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
And on the stones themselves was found that Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied before the flood, speaking of the coming of Hamashiach. Behold, Yahweh will come in his holiness to pronounce judgment on all and to convict the impious of all their works which they spoke of him, sinners and impious, murmurers.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that one more time. Murmurers,
Yeah.
irreligious,
Yep.
who walked according to their lust and
Ooh.
whose mouth has spoken pride.
All right, so now we moving on down into Solomon. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9. You can write down 1 Kings 6 to read about the description, the actual description of the temple to it. 1 Kings 6, you can write that down.
Wisdom of Solomon 9.
Yep, Wisdom of Solomon 9. So the same place Adam and Eve worshipped at was what was to be later known as Jerusalem.
And that's crazy because where the same place where Jacob set up the stone was the same place where Adam set up his altar.
Yep.
All was the same, all was Jerusalem.
All was Jerusalem. Man. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. Chapter 9, let's do 1 through 8.
All right.
Chapter 9, 1 through 8.
O Yah, my Father,
Uh-huh.
and Master of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, or ordained man through thy wisdom that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made,
Uh-huh.
and order the world according to the equity and righteousness.
There go that word equity again. How come we don't never see equality in the scriptures? We keep seeing equity. Right? Go ahead.
And execute judgment with an upright heart.
Mm-hmm.
Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. For I, thy servant and son of thine handmaid, am a feeble person, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment of law and law.
Verse 6.
For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded.
Nothing regarded. Go ahead.
Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people, and a judge of thy sons and daughters. Thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon thy holy mount, and an altar in the city wherein thou dwellest. And a resemblance of the holy tabernacle.
What kind of tabernacle?
Holy tabernacle, which thou hast prepared from the beginning.
From the beginning. So the temple that Solomon built was a representation of the holy tabernacle that was going to come down out of heaven. Let's go read about it. Revelation 21. Revelation 21. Revelation 21. So we seeing throughout the generations how this thing was shown through through small symbolisms and shadows. Like he just didn't outright come show it to you. Like you really gotta pay attention to what you read and really see it. All right, Revelation 21. Pick it up at verse 1. Yeah, pick it up at verse 1 through 4. Then we're gonna skip.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Yeah.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
There was what?
No more sea.
All right, so now keep reading. I'll get into it.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yah out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men.
The what?
The tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yah himself shall be with them and be their power.
So what he showed Moses to make, that was a representation of this right here.
That's right.
The temple that he showed Solomon to make, that he allowed him to read those tablets. You know what I'm saying? That was a resemblance of this right here. All right. So characteristics of this place, it says a new heaven and a new earth. So the heavens that you see now and the earth you see now, it won't look nothing like that. See that? Then he said, what?
No more sea.
No more sea. No more sea. So what do that tell you? Flesh and blood won't be here. Because guess what? That's all your water. What we made up mostly of.
Earth and water, brother.
Also, man won't need that much water or water at all.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So this something totally different from the 1,000-year reign. Right? Go ahead.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
No more sadness, no more depression. You see that? None of that. Go ahead.
And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain.
No more pain.
Man, I can't wait for that.
Woo.
You ain't gonna have no water. You can't.
No more headaches. No more migraines. No more gout.
No, get that out of here.
Man, no more lower back problems. Lord, I can't wait for that. Man, no more arthritis. You hear me?
Yeah, that's right, boy. Hurry up, forget about it.
Hey, but let's take it. Hold your spot right here. Let's go to Psalms 102 real quick. Did you
All
finish that?
No.
Finish that for we
For the former things are passed away.
the former things are passed away. Right. So let's go to Psalms 102. Hold your spot there. Because the prophets, and when you read the prophets and concerning the kingdom of heaven, it's touched on very vaguely. Like it is nobody really goes into much detail on what it's like. You know what I'm saying? None of that. That's why when the Messiah came around, he kind of brought everything full circle with the parables of the kingdom, and he always likened it to something. The kingdom of heaven is like this. It's like this. It's like this. So let's go to Psalms. What I say? 102. Okay, yeah, 102. Psalm 102. Let me see. Psalms 102. What my verses that I'm looking for? Okay, yeah, 25 through 27. Here we go. Psalms 102, 25 through 27.
Of old hast thou laid the foundations of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and the heavens are the work of thy hand.
Right?
They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yeah, all of them shall wax old like a garment.
Right. So he said the heavens that you laid, they shall perish. Right. Go ahead.
As a vesture shalt thou change them.
He gonna change them. Right. Ain't that what we read in Revelation? Go ahead.
And they shall be changed.
Yeah.
But thou art the same, and thy years have no end. The children of thy servants shall continue, and their seed shall be established before thee.
Their seed shall be established before thee. That sounds like forever being established, never moved.
That's right.
So let's go to another prophet before we go back to the Revelation. Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. He talked about the kingdom here. He talked about actually both right here. He talked about the millennial reign, and he talked about the Father's kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. And just like most prophets, like when you read them, they have a tendency to jump time frames.
That's right.
Right? Like you'll be reading Jeremiah, Isaiah, and be reading about the captivity when Nebuchadnezzar came in and the Chaldeans, but then he'll jump time frames and be talking about the future Babylon. Yeah, in the very next sentence. So we kind of gonna see something like that right here. He started out talking about the kingdom of heaven. Then he jumped time frame to the millennial reign. All right, so we finna see that right a little bit right here. This is Isaiah 65, 17 through 25.
All right. But behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind.
Now we read about that, about the New Jerusalem, right? So we can't read about that with the millennial reign. There will be a remembrance of former things in the millennial reign. When you read Ezekiel 44,
right?
Levitical priesthood, they're gonna be offering sacrifices in the type of memorial, kind of retrospect type nature. You know what I'm saying? With the Messiah sitting on the throne. That way we gonna be able to look back and be like, oh, okay, all them sacrifices was pointing to the one that's sitting up there on the throne above, right? So there would not be a remembrance of former things. He said new heavens and new earth. So we know which kingdom we talking about right here. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. and the
Where he
voice
gonna rejoice at?
in my people.
He said, "No, before
Oh,
that."
in Jerusalem.
Oh, so that indicates a physical presence.
Right.
In Jerusalem, I'm gonna be rejoicing in Jerusalem. Go
Mhm.
ahead.
And in my people.
Uh-huh.
And the voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her,
Mm.
nor the voice of crying.
That's another characteristic of that time, right? Of the New
Mhm.
Jerusalem. No more crying, no more weeping. All right, now verse 20, he finna jump. Go ahead.
There shall be no more thence an infant of
You
days.
see that?
That's
Infant
right.
of days. That mean an infant who only lives a few days.
Yep.
He said it ain't gonna be no more of that. Ain't gonna be no more than how you people gonna be reproducing at this time. How? Because there's gonna be infants.
Right.
There's gonna be infants. It's in the resurrection. You're neither married nor given in marriage. But those who are alive and are changed gonna be reproducing just like Adam and Eve was told. Be
Mhm.
fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. Go ahead.
There shall no more thence an infant of days,
Uh-huh.
nor an old man that has fulfilled his day,
They have not filled his
that
day.
has not filled his days.
Right.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
For the child shall die at 100 years old,
Mm.
but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed.
You see, there's still gonna be death. So somebody who dies at 100, that time frame, you're gonna be considered a child. It's still gonna be death, but not at the pace that you see it now. Man, people gonna be living till 100 considered young.
That's right.
And yeah, in the millennial period. And then read that last part, but the sinner.
But the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed.
So if you died, it says, but the sinner being 100 years old should be a curse.
Yeah.
You go. That's how the you see what I'm saying? It's gonna switch. Like how we look now, like we look at 90 as being old. That's
Right.
not old. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a totally different thing. Go ahead.
21.
Yeah.
And they shall build houses and inhabit them,
Uh-huh.
and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them.
That's right.
Different from the curse, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
They shall not build and another inhabit.
Mm.
They shall not plant and another eat.
Won't be no more Black Wall Street incidents going on at that time. What's ours is ours forever. Go ahead.
For as the days of a tree are the days of my people,
Mm.
and mine elect shall long joy in the work of their hands.
Yeah.
They shall not labor in vain nor bring forth for trouble,
Mm.
for they are the seed and of a blessed of the Yahweh, and their offspring with them.
That's right.
And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer,
Mm.
and while they are yet speaking, I will hear.
Do you see that? That's how intimate and close we gonna be with the Most High in that day.
Right.
Right, like you read, I believe that's Sirach 38. They talk about our prayers. They pierce the clouds until they finally go through. Like we have to wait to be answered before we even get it out of our mouth. Most High gonna already have it right there in front of you.
I got you.
That's how much we gonna be His people in that day.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like with my little girl, I'll wait till she asks me, but I already know when she finna ask me for something. Sometimes I already have it out. That's how the Most High gonna have us before we can even say, Lord, it's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Go ahead.
25.
Yeah.
The wolf and the lamb shall feed together,
Mm-hmm.
and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock,
Right.
and dust shall be the serpent's meat.
Uh-huh.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains,
That's right.
saith Yahweh.
All right, let's go back to Revelation 21. Flip back.
Verses 20 through 25, it will talk about
Yeah,
We'll talk
verses
about
20
both
through
of them.
25. Verses 20 through 25, Millennial Kingdom. The first two.
What we
The
pick up
first
at
two
what?
was 17 through 19.
Oh, there, yeah.
That's the Father's kingdom.
Yeah.
That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. Let's go back to Revelation 21. We was at verse 4, right? We was at verse 4.
Yeah.
So let's skip down. Let's skip down now to verse skip down to verse 10. Verse 10. Go ahead.
And he carried me away in the spirit to
Mhm.
a great and high mountain,
Mm.
and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Yah,
Right?
having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
That's right.
and had a wall great and high,
Mm.
and had 12 gates.
How many gates?
12 gates.
Okay.
And at the gates 12 angels,
Mm.
and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So at every gate it was an angel there.
Mm.
So you can't put on no fake mustache, a trench coat in the head, and try to sneak your way past
No.
one of them
You're
gates.
gonna get bounced.
Ah, okay.
It's a cop.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 13. On the east 3 gates,
Uh-huh.
and on the north 3 gates, and
Mm.
on the south 3 gates,
Mm.
and on the west 3 gates.
So where are all the gates for these different denominations? Where the Baptist gate?
No gates,
Where's
brother.
the, you know what I'm saying? Where's the Pentecostal, the
Spiritual
Methodist
Israel.
gate?
What is
Where's
spiritual,
the,
spiritual Israel gate?
Yeah.
You know how they do.
what gate they go in?
Esau gate.
Yeah, what Esau gate? If you gonna get spiritual Israel gate, you might well get Esau gate.
Right, right,
He got one.
right.
He got one.
The gates of hell.
Here's a bottom.
Yeah.
The gates of hell, you hear me?
Yeah.
So can't no heathen put his fake mustache
Yeah.
and trench coat on and try to slide up one of them Israelite gates
Man,
something
when
he's
them
spiritual
angels-
Israel.
Popping weed off.
I'll put your head. Put mud on
Man, hey, he gonna get his cranium cracked by one of them angels.
Man. Deacon Johnson with the trench coat on. All right, let's get it.
And the wall of the city had 12 foundations.
Mm.
And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Mm.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city,
Yeah.
and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs.
Mm.
The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits according to the measure of a man,
Right.
that is of the angel.
Mm.
Not a regular man,
Not
but
a
an
regular
angel.
man. That's right.
And you notice all these things are divisible by 12. I don't know if y'all caught all that.
Yeah.
So I'm still tripping on that
Yeah.
spiritual Israel thing.
Yeah.
Where y'all at? I don't see no 13 in here. Everything you see is divisible by 12. I still can't get over that, man. If it's all divisible by 12, you see what I'm saying? Everything you just read is
12.
divisible by 12.
So live. So live.
Verse 18.
Verse 18. Go ahead.
And the building of the wall of it was of jasper,
Mm.
and the city was pure gold.
So even the walls gonna have precious stones. in it.
That's right.
Right, and then you read 1 Kings 6 and 20, verse 22, it tell you the whole temple was overlaid in pure gold.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Like unto clear glass.
Mm.
And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper,
Mm.
the second sapphire, the third, I don't know how to pronounce that, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardis, the sixth sardis, the seventh crystallite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz,
Mm.
the 10th chrysoprase,
Mm.
the 11th janet, the 12th amet, and the 13th. Oh, that ain't no 13.
13,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, 21.
T Boogie.
21.
And the 12 gates were 12 pearls.
Mm.
Every several gate was of 1 pearl.
Mm-hmm.
And the street of the city was pure gold, as it was transparent glass.
Hold your spot right here. Let's go back to Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah 54 this time. Isaiah 54. He touched on this as well, all the precious stones and all that.
I don't understand why folks can't just.
That's simple, man.
It's simple. I don't understand why folks can't accept it.
Me either,
You
man.
got jokers now telling you that, hey man, you know what? You could have a Gentile way down. Y'all doing everything y'all can.
Yeah.
to try to
Right, get them jokers in there.
Yeah. And they act like we saying they can't go to. They act like we saying they ain't gonna be in there. We ain't saying that. They just got their rightful place in it, and we got our rightful place in it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Do you fit the curse? No.
yeah.
I
Well,
got
the thing
10
about
times.
it is-
You fit the curse.
Right. They saying that now since they come into the Commonwealth, they able to teach, and they're gonna be able to go and rule in the land.
You can't read
Do
that.
that 50 curses.
Can't read that. Show me where Cornelius taught anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? Even after the church had accepted Cornelius,
Mm-hmm.
he went on about his business. He ain't go nowhere start teaching. So I'm Cornelius. Nah, you ain't see none of that.
I'm teacher such and such.
I'm brother Bob and brother. No, you ain't gonna see none of that. Let's go to Isaiah 54, 1 through 13. Let's get it.
Sing,
Yeah, go ahead.
sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forward into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife.
So that's really going back to Abraham and Hagar. Paul
Come on now.
expands on it in expands on this in Galatians 4, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Say it, Yahweh.
So the woman who will be married, that's the heathen nations,
Mhm.
right? And the woman that's barren, that's Israel. So he like rejoice, oh barren woman, because now it's time for you to break forth, have children, right? He finna get into it. Verse 2, go ahead.
Enlarge the place of thy tent,
Mm.
and let them stretch forth curtains of thine habitation.
Mm.
Spare not,
Spur not.
lengthen thy cord,
Mm.
and strengthen thy state.
So he's saying, look, make the city bigger. We need more space.
Yup,
Cause the barren woman finna break forth now.
man.
You see what I'm saying? And them changed bodies, them incorruptible bodies gonna be reproducing in the millennial kingdom. It ain't gonna be like we was in this flesh. You miscarried with this one, but you have one the next. No, every time it's gonna be fertile around that thing. Straight popping, cause we gonna be producing in righteousness then. You see all the miscarriages and all that was because of sin. It gonna be righteous seed reproducing righteously. Go ahead. So now you gonna have to create space.
It's gonna be husband and wife, not boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's right. That's right. And you gonna have to create space. You gonna have to have space for them babies. Go ahead.
For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left,
Woo.
and thy seed shall inherit the. Wait, I'm gonna read this real slow. And thy seed shall inherit the Gentile.
Inherit means to possess.
Thank you.
And possess means to own.
That's it.
Okay. See, a lot of people don't want to hear that.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that one. That's why I'm gonna read that again.
Yeah. Read it slow.
And thy seed, meaning the seed of Israel,
No descendants. Yes, sir.
shall inherit.
Possess.
See, when somebody give me an inherit, that means I own it. Then. What you get to is mine.
It's mine.
So go and inherit the Gentiles
That's right.
and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
Mm.
So where got the Gentiles? There it is. Right
There it is.
They gonna be owned.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Go ahead.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth,
Man,
and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood
you see
anymore.
that? We ain't gonna remember the times, these times.
Right.
We ain't even gonna remember it. You said, man, I can't believe that. Cause it's a hell, like this life, man. Like I can't wrap my mind around not remembering none of this one day.
I can't agree.
I can't wrap my mind around not remembering none of this, bro.
That's right.
That's beautiful to me right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I need to email this scripture to somebody.
Leave
Go ahead. Yeah. Man, seeing generations of my people being born, raised, and die in the same conditions, and it just got worse and worse from generation to I ain't gonna be able to wrap my head around not remembering any of this. But right here in the word, it say, man, you ain't gonna remember the reproach of your widowhood. Back when I divorced y'all ain't gonna remember none of that. Go ahead.
For thy maker is thine husband, and Yahweh of hosts is his name.
That's right.
And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth, shall he be called.
Skip down. Let's skip down to 10. Skip down to 10. Read 10 through 13.
All right.
And then we're gonna move on.
For the mountain shall depart, and the hill shall be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, said Yahweh, that hath mercy on thee.
Yeah.
O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, and not comforted.
Mm.
Behold, I will lay thy stones with fair
You
colors.
see that now he talking to the city.
Mhm.
He talking to the city of Jerusalem,
That's right.
right? Not the people. He said, "O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, not comforted. Behold, I will lay thy or your stones with what?"
Fair colors, and lay thy foundation with sapphire.
So is he talking about the Jerusalem in the 1,000-year millennial reign? Nah, he talking about the New Jerusalem. Right? Go ahead.
And I will make thy windows of agates,
Mhm.
and thy gates of carbuncle,
Mm.
and all thy borders of pleasant stone.
All these pleasant stones on the gates and the walls. We just read that in Revelation 21. Go ahead.
And all thy children shall be taught of Yahweh,
Mm.
and great shall be the peace of thy children.
Hallelujah. Let's go back to that. Revelation 21. Revelation 21, we stopped at verse, 20, 21? We stopped at verse 21. Read 22 on out. 22
All right.
on out.
And I saw no temple therein,
Mm,
for Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
that's right.
And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
That's right.
And the nations of them that are saved, which are saved, shall walk in the light of it.
Uh-huh.
And the kings of the earth do bring. I mean, they ain't gonna be. They got to come up. They got to bring. See, bring.
Exactly.
From there, they got to bring.
So the
I'm already there.
So the nations are for the Israelites.
The Gentiles.
In here, cause they got to bring it up.
They gotta come up.
They got to come up.
Oh, okay.
See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do bring their glory and honor into it.
Mhm.
And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no light there.
Mm.
And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
That's right.
And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
All right. All praises. Let's go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12. Let's get into the Messiah, which we finna have to end it after a few more scripts.
Well, we got part 3, 2, and 3.
We got to be up out of here by 3, right? We got to be finished by 3. Okay.
We
All
want
right.
to be.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can do a few more. All right. Let's do Matthew 12 because I got like 60 scripts over there.
Yeah, that's what I say. 3 parts, man.
Got
Yeah, you got 3, brother. You can do Friday, then do next Saturday. You know.
about a month and a half. Hallelujah.
And it crazy because, man, I have been, the spirit been on me for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Just urging me to put this one together.
What's up?
I have been working on it here and there, but have been working on other stuff. And I finally just went on here and went at it this weekend, went on here and finished. All
Yes,
praise. So let's do Matthew 12. Now we finna introduce the Messiah. All right, we went through Adam and Eve, went through Moses, went through the Proverbs, went through Solomon, right? And we read about the Proverbs, how it also means parable. Solomon had like over 3,000 of them things.
Bunches of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably more than that. When you
Probably more than that because the Odes of Solomon up in there.
Yeah, this is a bunch.
All that. So let's get into somebody who was greater than him. You know what I'm saying? Who had the spirit without measure. Let's get into Matthew 12, 38, verse 38 through 42. Go ahead. Oh, y'all ain't there yet.
I was on the wrong page. Then certain of the scribes and the Pharisees answered, saying,
Yeah.
Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign.
So do. Go ahead.
And there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah.
See that he had already been showing them signs.
Mm-hmm.
You see, some people just want you to show them more proof so they can have another reason to reject it. Mm-hmm. And that's all the Pharisees was doing. Right. So he said, look, I gave you a sign. Go look at Jonah. Go look at the prophet Jonah. Jonah Like he gave his life to appease the wrath of Most High for bringing smoke to everybody else.
Right.
But death didn't hold him. After 3 days and 3 nights, he was presented alive. So he said, y'all want a sign? Go look at the prophet Jonah. That's y'all sign.
Right.
Go ahead.
For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly,
Yeah.
so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
Verse 41.
The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it,
Ooh.
because they repented at the preaching of Jonas,
Mm.
and behold, a greater than Jonas is here.
See, man, look, that one. See, you gonna let a heathen take
Yeah.
your spot.
Yeah.
That should make every Israelite be like, oh no, I got to get in the kingdom. I can't let this happen.
Gonna let a joke with a bone in his lip get in.
A plate,
Yeah, plate in his lip. He
a
gonna be,
plate, boy.
You gonna be sitting over there in the lake of fire.
Them heathens probably could put this whole table in their bottom lip
That's
and
what
be,
that's
and be
what
walking
That's
around
what they have, Mike.
and be walking
They would
around
have
like
like
it's
one.
cool, yeah.
They may have little things on their face. I don't know. They gonna be in there.
Hey, go ahead.
Well, look at me up.
So-
verse 42.
So he said, a greater than Jonas is here, verse 42. Go ahead.
The queen of the south shall rise up in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, for she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon.
The wisdom of
Another
Solomon.
Hamite gonna be in the kingdom.
Yep.
And behold, a greater than Solomon is here.
Ooh, a greater than Solomon is here. So if you thought his parables was something, wait till you get a load of my parables. Basically what he's saying. So let's get into them. I write down Psalm 78, 1 through 5. That's the psalm. I will open my mouth in the parable. Woo, woo, woo. Prophecy of the Messiah, his teaching method where he would come on the earth. But let's go. Let's start this off with Matthew 13. And then this is gonna be the last spot. They're gonna be the last spot. Matthew 13. We're gonna do 1 through 30 first.
All right.
Well, let's just do the parable of the sower.
All right.
And then if we can encourage, then we'll get it.
We're gonna be starting.
Verse 1.
All right.
Verse 1. Matthew 13 and verse 1.
The same day when Yeshua out of the house
Mm.
and sat by the seaside,
Right.
and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore.
All right. So there's multitudes out there. Multitudes. So he went out there being timid and, hey guys,
Yeah.
you know,
Dilly do.
let me tell you guys about a parable of the sower.
No.
A sower went out to sow. Nah, he had to project because there was multitudes of people and he was on the boat and they on the shore. Right? Go ahead.
And he spake many things unto them in parables,
Uh-huh.
saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow.
Mm.
And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside,
Uh-huh.
and the fowls came and devoured them up.
All right, so he doing a parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So he giving them something that they all could relate to at that time, and which was agriculture. You know what I'm saying? And if you was a farmer, you could relate because you had your seeds in your sack on your little cart or whatever. And as you going, you hitting the bumps in the concrete and all this, and the seeds is falling out the side of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all them, they mind going like, oh, okay, I can relate to this. I know what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Some fell upon stony places,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, where they had not much earth.
Mm.
And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth.
Yeah.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away.
Mm-hmm.
And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
Mm.
But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
All right, so what we read so far in this parable, the different type of grounds that the seeds fell on represent metaphysically different mindsets.
That's it, brother.
Or different responses to the word. See what I'm saying? So let's keep reading.
Who have ears to hear, let him hear.
This is not calling for everybody to hear this, because this ain't for everybody. When he say he who has ears to let him hear, he's saying those who's sensitive to their spirit, they gonna understand this.
Right.
Those who want to understand this gonna understand it. And those who just think I'm talking about some earthly story and that's it, they ain't gonna understand it. Right? Go ahead.
And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parable? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
But to them it is not given. For whosoever has, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away even that which he has.
13.
Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
So the purpose of him teaching in parables was to do two things: to reveal the truth to those who had the heart for it, and to conceal it to those who closed their own eyes. You know what I'm saying? It was all on them, because the answer is right there in the story if you listen to it.
Right.
But you had to have a heart to want to understand it. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, By hearing ye shall see, hear, and not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed.
See,
their
eyes they have closed. You close your eyes when you don't have a desire to look into these things. You see, the disciples came up right after them. Hey man, what you mean by that?
Right.
And they got their answer, because they had the mind to want to decipher the kingdom, the parables. See, you can know all the Torah, but what about do you understand the mysteries of the kingdom?
That's right, brother.
No, a lot of people don't. Go ahead.
Lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand in their heart or their mind,
right,
and should be converted, and I should heal them.
Go ahead.
Man, that's a hard statement right there, bro. He said, I did this so they won't understand, so I won't have to heal them. That's bad when the Most High don't want to deal with you on that like that, bro.
And see, if he had not spoke in parables, that wouldn't have been a way for them to fulfill that Isaiah. By him speaking in parables, you see what I'm saying? That scripture had to come to pass.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Because the prophets saw certain aspects of the kingdom. He revealed to them certain things, but the prophets wanted to see it full circle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the disciples had the luxury of having what the prophets prophesied about right there in front of their eyes. Right there.
Right, brother.
Right there. And then we got it years later in its entirety. We got him when he was in this eternal form. He came in his physical form when he went back up. We got it all. So blessed are our eyes as well.
That's right.
Go ahead.
18.
Yeah.
Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
Here we go.
When anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his mind. This is he which received the seed by the wayside.
So these are people who never took time out to even let the word in their life at all. These type of people. Go ahead.
But he that received the seed in the stony places, the same as he that heard the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not rooted himself, but doeth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, you're gonna come. By and by, he is offended.
Oh, so this that brew that came in on fire.
Yeah.
When he heard the truth, his feet hit the ground running.
That's right.
Making videos on the street corners. Casting out demons. 10 toes down. This the everybody know this bro. Hard time come up. You look up. Like my brother say, look, he 5 toes down, 1 foot off the ground. You hear me? Like my brother Maccabee say, man, he's circling the drain on his way out.
That's it.
You don't want to be circling that drain. That's the one that came. We the Israelites, all that. When he first came in, on fire. What's the singer name? What's the boy?
Jada Producer.
Jada Producer.
He be hitting the head with a bat.
Man, made some excellent
Cold
Israelite music.
man.
Excellent Israelite music.
There's a
Man,
whole lot of them
you know, they gone.
What's that?
They gone. What was we at on that?
I don't know, Charles. Threw me off.
Verse 20, what, 20? We finished verse 21?
Yeah, we at
We at
22.
22?
Yeah.
We at 22.
He also that received the seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the cares of this word, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
You see that now? These right here, this riches of the world, this one among thorns, this the one that get a lot of people. A lot of people, because you constantly faced with the decision, go make money or read the word. You know what I'm saying? Should I be fasting or should I pull up another one? Should I be, doing this or doing that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this, a lot of Israelites that's been in this walk have trouble with this one. You don't want your ground to turn into that stony place.
Man.
Hold the
Fallow
spot right
ground.
here. Hold the spot. Let's go to Proverbs 17 real quick.
Break up the fallow ground of your mind.
That's in there.
17.
Yes, sir. Proverbs 17. We hitting that last. They break up that fallow
Oh,
ground.
my bad.
Nah, you good. You good. Proverbs 17, 1 verse 24.
Oh, yeah.
You said verse 24?
Yeah. Yeah.
Proverbs 17, verse 24, and I read. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the
You
earth.
see that? The eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. Always want to know what's the next way to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's the latest trend on social media? Yeah. You see that? He said only a fool eyes is in the ends of the earth. Let's go back to that. Matthew 13. Read that verse 23.
But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit.
That's right.
And bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60,
Yeah.
some 30.
Hold your spot. Let's go back to Proverbs. Back to Proverbs. Proverbs 12. Proverbs 12 and verse 3. Proverbs 12 and verse 3. So we finna read this, and then we got one more spot after this. We finna read Proverbs 12 and 3. Write down Psalms 1. Write down Psalms 1. That's somebody who heard the word and the fruit is being produced now. Proverbs 12 and verse 3.
A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall be removed.
Shall not be
Shall
moved.
not be moved. I'm
See
sorry.
that? The
Shall
root,
not be moved.
the root of the righteous shall not be moved.
Sorry.
So you firm, you establish, and you burn fruit. Right? So this parable was a parable, to show for one, the disciples that everybody you get a word to, it's not gonna resonate with everybody. It's not gonna resonate with everybody. But another question that it should pose, everybody to ask themselves, what type of ground am I?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And have I been in this thing a while and the cares of the world is starting to consume me? You know what I'm saying? Is thorns popping up? Am I as bold when tribulation come with this thing?
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? You had to ask yourself, what ground are you? Let's finish this out. This ain't even the end of part 1, really. But let's go to Hosea 10. Hosea 10.
Yeah.
And then as we going along through the Messiah's parables, we're going to be precepting with a bunch of Solomon's parables just to show you how they go hand in hand. Hosea 10, let's do 1 through 12.
All right.
That's the last spot.
Israel is an empty vine.
Mm-hmm.
He bringeth forth fruit unto himself. According to the multitude of his fruit, he hath increased the altar.
All right, so the more prosperous we became, the more we started to sin. Go ahead.
According to the goodness of his land, they have made goodly images.
Right.
Their heart is divided. Now shall they be found faulty. He shall break down their altars. He shall spoil their images.
Right, verse 3.
For now they shall say, we have no king because we fear not Yahweh. What then should a king do to us?
You see that? We got a king now. We got somebody to speak for us now.
Nope.
That's that. They got some real power.
Nope.
They can go sit at the table at the United Nations.
Nope.
We ain't got none of that. Go ahead.
They have spoken words, swearing falsely and making a covenant. Thus judgment springeth up as hemlock. Woo. Y'all know what hemlock is,
That's
don't
a poisonous,
poison.
plant.
Keep opening your mouth. In the furrows of the field.
Mm-hmm.
The inhabitants of Samaria shall fear because of the calves of Beth-Haven. For the people thereof shall mourn over it, and the priests thereof that rejoice on it, for the glory thereof, because it is departed from it.
Skip down to 8.
All right.
Read 8 through 10, 8 through 12. 8 through 12.
The high places of avenge,
Mm-hmm.
the sin of Israel shall be destroyed. The thorn and the thistle shall come up on the altar.
What shall come up?
The thorn and thistles shall come up on their altar.
Okay.
And they shall
Curse
say,
of this world.
that's
huh?
right, that's right.
Go
Come on
ahead.
with it, brother.
Them idols. Go ahead.
That's right. And they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us.
Mm-hmm.
O Israel, thou hast sinned from the days of Gibeah. There they stood in the battle in Gibeah against the children of iniquity, did not overtake them.
Mhm.
It is my desire that I should chastise them.
Ooh.
And the people shall be gathered against them.
Yeah.
When they shall bind themselves in their two furrows. And Ephraim is an heifer that is taught and loves to tread out the corn.
Yeah.
But I passed over upon her,
Mm-hmm.
fair neck, and I will make Ephraim to ride. Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods.
All right, verse 12. This is what I want to get to.
Sow yourselves in righteousness.
You see that? Plant to yourselves righteousness. How do you plant righteousness to yourself?
That's right, brother.
You know what I'm saying? By thinking righteous thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And having righteous intentions. That's how you sow. That's how you plant righteousness to
That's
yourself.
right, brother.
Go ahead.
Reaping mercy.
Reaping mercy.
Break up your fallow ground.
See that? We said in Matthew 13 what the different grounds represent, the different responses or different mindsets
Mhm.
when one hears the word. So right here, the prophet telling Israel to break up your fallow ground.
Mhm.
Right? The fallow means untilled.
That's right.
Right? You can't drop no seeds in that ground till you till that ground prepared to receive the seed.
That's right, brother.
So he's saying, look, break up that untilled ground. Get it ready to receive these seeds or this word.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Get rid of them bad habits. Go ahead.
For it is time to seek Yahweh
That's right.
till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
You see that? Then if you broke up that fallow ground, when that rain of righteousness come, you can produce fruit. But that's the end of part 1, the parables of the kingdom. We're going to pick this back up at Matthew 13.
Hallelujah.
Just want to thank those who donated. Those
Oh, praise.
those donations from out of town. You
Okay.
know, whoever donated, we really appreciate those donations. And we're gonna have brothers meeting tomorrow here at 1 o'clock. No, it's at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. And brother's gonna be discussing a few things for the future of the class and everything.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
Are we gonna do any type of call or Zoom for the brothers who can't make it be here in person? Or we gonna do something like that tomorrow?
Yeah, we can.
All right, so for the brothers who can't make it tomorrow at 12, brother, you want to do the Zoom thing or you want to do just call in?
Well, we gotta find out how many brothers are gonna show up. If it's just gonna be just a few brothers, we can just do Zoom.
Okay.
But they have to make sure they download the Zoom I'd rather do it in person, you know.
That's what I'm saying, if they can't, I'm just saying for the brothers who couldn't make, I'm planning on being here, what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
saying for the brothers who can't, because they got other stuff going on, they can zoom in while we here.
Right.
That's all I was saying.
They can do that.
Okay.
Just make sure they download it. If they don't have it, just email me at
Okay.
40p13@gmail and I'll send you the link.
All right. And I just want to tell the people out there, we still working on this email thing. I don't know what to tell you. I know it's loaded up with questions, but we have to get in there.
We can't get in it.
Well, we can get in there. I just don't know how to get in. This me. This ain't nobody. It ain't no technical. This brother T. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. But I'm gonna get to y'all questions. I just don't know how to get in there. But we gonna get in there. We gonna get them questions answered. But like the brother said, we want to thank y'all for y'all donations, for y'all support. Most of all, we want to thank y'all for y'all prayers. That's what we want. We want. And availeth much.
That's right.
We need the prayers of people that's righteous.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But we want to thank y'all for that. And that's all I got, bro. It's on you.
I'm good.
All right, y'all, we're gonna turn out. We're gonna stand and face Jerusalem. We're gonna close out. How you gonna do it? Oh, okay. I didn't know. All right, we're gonna close out with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. And we're gonna read verses, what we read? 12 and 13. I mean 13 and 14, I'm sorry. 13 and 14.
12, 13, 13 and 14.
Oh, okay.
I want to say 12.
All right. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Praise the mighty Yah. All right. All praise. All praise. Enjoy the rest of y'all set. What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, Water told me last night, he said, man, brother got on. I said, well, all praise. Tell them heathens, step back. Step back, old heathen.
Birthday house. I see you Sunday.
Well, I ain't got no problem with it.
I know you will.
Man, it's not like I'm gonna say no.